So, Lone Rider here, and if you're like me and you carry a pocket knife on a daily basis, you might have noticed that under some conditions, such as when it's cold or you're wearing gloves or work gloves, that it's hard to get it out. I had a situation the other day when I was at work, and I had difficulty taking out my Spyderco Delica. I was fumbling with it with work gloves and just wasn't very cool. So, you'll notice that now it's much less fumbly, and there's a reason for that. There are knives that are actually designed to be used with gloves. Spyderco makes a few of them, such as the Spyderco Military or Paramilitary 2. And these are great knives. One's a liner lock, one's a compression lock. They're really well made, and they even have a better blade steel. The blade stock's a little thicker. Really good quality knives. But they're a little more pricey than the Delica, and they don't carry as slim. Especially, the military. It is a slim construction, but it's long. It's big in that sense. So whether you're concerned about you don't want to carry something so big because you're gonna, people might freak out if you take it out at work, or whether you're concerned because it's just a little cumbersome to carry. I don't know about you. I like my Delica. I like all these other knives too, but I like the Delica, and I keep coming back to it a lot. But I was concerned that when wearing gloves, it was fumbly to get out, and if you needed to get it out in a hurry, let's say you were, something was caught on a packing strap and going to fall on you, or whatever situation you might need to get it out in a hurry. If you're wearing gloves, whether it's full finger bicycling, mountain bike gloves or work gloves or just winter gloves, it'd be nice to have that option that you have with the Spyderco knives that are designed to be used with gloves, and to be fair, are also a lot more expensive. Most costing about twice as much as this. So I took my Delica and I did a little bit of a modification to it. That hole is now 14 millimeters. The standard hole on the Spyderco is smaller than 14 millimeters. It's the oversized hole on knives like the Paramilitary 2 and the Military and the Para 3. That is 14 millimeters. And I did this very slowly so I wouldn't heat up the blade and ruin the tempering. It got a little warm at some point, but never overheated. And the result is, well, a knife that is easier to remove from your pocket and get out when wearing gloves. Let's see, here we go. Of course, it would help if it didn't get caught on its lanyard, but yeah. Let me try that again. There you go. And now I wouldn't advise doing this because it probably voids the hell out of your warranty, and if you're not careful, you can heat up the blade and ruin the heat treatment, and you don't want to scratch up the surface of the blade and all sorts of stuff. But if you're careful and you do what I did, you can end up with a versatile modification for your Delica. This makes the knife just a lot easier to use, even when wearing these bulky, overly large work gloves. So, just something to think about. Personally, I wish, Sal Blesser, if you're listening, I wish Spyderco Corporation would make like a Delica XL or something that had the oversized hole. I do know they often make some Spyderco knives, especially base models like the Delica, in a variety of steels. But it'd be nice to see the oversized hole make an appearance. Only because this was kind of a hassle to do to it. Especially, I was trying to do it in such a way that I didn't, scuff up the knife, and that I didn't, overheat the blade steel or ruin it or do anything like that. So, there you go. It's now a much more viable thing to use with gloves on, and of course, because it is an overly small knife when you have a gloved hand, it's not going to handle the way as something that has a larger grip like the Paramilitary 2 or the Military. Those are just a little bit bigger in the hand, so they're going to handle a little bit better with gloves on. So it might still be a little fumbly, but it's definitely going to be easier to open with that hole. Another thing is, I had an injury to my right side, and these Spyderco knives, generally speaking, are one of the very few designs that I'm comfortable opening with this hand, except for maybe flipper models or something with a spring assist. The spider hole is really one of the few things I'm comfortable doing with this hand now. But the ones with the larger holes, like the military, or the paramilitary 2, or the para 3, are the ones that are really easy to use. And with this mod, the Delica becomes even better. So there you go. Just something to think on. Your mileage may vary. Again, I wouldn't do this to an expensive knife. The Delica is relatively affordable. Of course, it probably does void the hell out of your warranty. You're removing material from the blade and reshaping the hole. But yeah, there you go. It's just a little easier to use now with gloves on. So this now has the same hole as the again, the military or the paramilitary, and just makes it a little more of a versatile thing. And I don't know, I find that versatile tools are better tools. So there you go. Something to think about. If you only have one Delica, I wouldn't do this, but if you have two, or you're planning to get a second one, yeah, take the old one and give it a try. Like I said, on one hand, I can't recommend doing it because it would probably, if you mess up the knife, you're on your own. But on the other hand, when it works, it really works. So just a modification to think of. Long Rider.